Hey there. Welcome to part two. So, in part one, I shared the theory with you. Now, in part two, I'm going to show you how to practically apply this using ChatGPT. So, I already showed you the heaven or hell exercise. Now, I'm going to show you prompts where you can use ChatGPT to guide you. Now, I want you to understand ChatGPT is not all knowing, it's not infallible, it's a guide. So you're going to share what you do, you're going to ask your questions, and as the adult in the room, you're then going to make decisions that make sense for you. Please do not ever come to me and say, but Jeff, ChatGPT said that I should throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's your fault. No, no, no. If you are going to blindly believe everything ChatGPT sells you or tells you, I have some oceanfront property in Arizona. I'd love to sell you at a great price. I'm just kidding. Need to be the adult. You need to be skeptical. You need to ask questions. So let's look at ChatGPT and specifically some of the tools. So you will get a edited version. This is the raw, but basically based on eliminate, automate, delegate, there is a process. So here is Chat GPT. Let's find, sorry, some 5 minutes ago, Jeff didn't like me. He closed my Chat GPT. So here are, so this is an example. So what you do, okay, so I showed you the heaven or hell. What I do is, and I'll explain this. So you use the two asterisks, that's a heading. Okay, so let's say this is one. Heaven is, I'll refine this prompt. This is just a first draft. So, okay, I have completed heaven. I'll refine this so you can copy and paste. Um, Doesn't always like copy and paste. Okay. So I'm going to turn those into headers by putting the asterisks. And like I said, I'll make this easy. You can just copy and paste. There. Oh, goal is to eliminate as much. Okay. So that's my categories. So detailed tasks, not doing yet, but want to start. Maybe this is public speaking. Maybe it's a podcast, right? Look. So let's pretend I haven't done any of these. Um, Travel. So these are all the things I'd love to do, but I'm not doing. Now, maybe this is blog posts, newsletter, uh, and this is going to be individual, personal to you. Newsletter. What else should I do? Courses. Yes. All right. Now, currently doing but want to stop. I hate Facebook, no offense. I hate Instagram. And quite frankly, I hate social media. Sorts. And maybe I like YouTube. Okay. Now, in my world, I absolutely hate email. Now, for the record, if you're not sure about doing and want to stop or doing could delegate, you could just say currently doing, but dot, dot, dot. And you could list it and say, okay, can you help me decide which of these I can eliminate? Okay. Now, basically, anything tactical makes my head explode. Uh, Not ask me to maintain a CRM. Don't ask me to do anything tedious or repetitive. My head explodes. That's just me. So here you go. Now let's pretend this is your business. So it's going to say, here's your heaven or hell. And this is wonderful because it's telling me, oh, hold on a second. I'm going to change this. Okay. Tasks, questions as to which aspects No. Didn't. So this is my prompt. Like I said, I will make sure you can copy and paste it, edit it to your style. But what we'll see, and you'll notice I'm doing things I told you not to do. I'm giving this a lot to process. This is the beginning of the conversation, so I'm 99% confident it will come back with good stuff. So here it is. There's public speaking, and you'll see automate the process of researching using tools like event directories or assistants. Podcast, here's what we can delegate, here's how we can write a book. Um, so the key is, and this is the thing, we live in a society that is addicted to busy. I'm sorry to say it, but it's a badge of honor to say, I'm busy. Well, the hell with busy. Busy sucks. I don't want to be busy. I want to be effective. So let me back up and explain effective. Most people try to be efficient, which is basically we're doing the thing we're doing as well as possible. We're using the least amount of inputs to create the most outputs. So efficient is a good thing, usually. But the problem is, efficient doesn't ask the question, should we do this? Effective is doing the right things, and then efficient is doing the right things well. Or, sorry, efficient is doing things right. So, when we're effective and efficient, we're doing the right things the right way. So, we want to be effective first, then efficient. If you're efficient but not effective, you're just really damn busy. If you're effective but not efficient, you're doing the right things, you just have some waste. The perfect scenario is you're effective and efficient. And by the way, you can have that conversation with ChatGPT saying, how can I be more effective? How can I be more efficient? Please help me categorize this. But you'll see, so it's created a list of heaven tasks, and it's given me ideas how I can do more. So the key is for the heaven, we want to do better. So this is about being effective, and we want to do more effective, more efficient. With the hell, I don't care if it's efficient. If it's not effective, we shouldn't be doing it. So this is giving us an analysis and saying, okay, here's what we can eliminate, here's what we can automate, here's what we can delegate. And you can see it's cutting down on how do we eliminate emails. And by the way, for each and every one of these, we can create our prompt and say, what can we eliminate? How can we eliminate it? And you can actually ask for a process on how to eliminate, how to automate, how to delegate. So the key is ChatGPT is your friend. Now, let's just go back. So I told you we talk about the eliminate, automate, delegate, check. I told you we talk about automating some repetitive tasks. I will show you that next, and I'll show you how to delegate. So we're making some progress. And then, of course, I want to show you my research because that is the power. Now, I have a prompt somewhere. I can't find it, so that's okay. Can you assist in creating a process to There we go. Two. There. Now it will create a process telling me how to eliminate. And again, I'm the grown up here, so I'm going to look at it and say, yes, I agree. Before I can eliminate something, I have to understand what my success metrics are. If you know your success metrics up front, tell it. If you don't, ask it for help developing it. So then you'll collect the data. Here's how you do it. And then you'll analyze the data and evaluate it and make decisions. Now, here's the beautiful thing. I could do this myself, but it turns out that figuring out what to eliminate is in my hell. So now I can give this, say, thank you, assistance. It turns out that doing this analysis would be in my hell. Could we create an email draft to delegate this to assistant? And by the way, assistant can be anyone. It's not a term that matters. But if you watch, because the biggest thing, I'm sorry, I've been there, I've done that, I've been busy. The hardest part about delegating is sometimes writing the email telling somebody you're delegating. But you can see this. I've got subject, I've got body, I've got the steps, I've got the deadline. Boom. So again, copy it into your email tool of choice. Sorry, craft the email, copy and paste it, edit it so it sounds like you, looks like you, feels like you, and then send it. And you'll be amazed how many things you can eliminate that you didn't think you could eliminate. So this is my number one little rant, is that there's so much more you can eliminate. But really, truly, that's how you eliminate, automate, or delegate. Now, I'm going to show you my research tool because this saves so much time, so much energy. And I'm going to use this data we've already got as an example. So thank you for assisting me with this conversation so far. Incredibly helpful. And by the way, I am literally 100% more productive with AI. So my theory is I might as well be polite. I'm going to say please and thank you. And it just makes me feel better, but it also, believe it or not, you get better responses. Bonus marks if you're kind enough that it gives you emojis, that tells you you're being really nice. And the way I see it, doing work, I'm doing what I love, I should enjoy it. Therefore, emojis are not all bad. Okay, so I would like to share my philosophy with my audience about I want to show you something really, really cool that makes me weirdly excited. Here's my heaven or hell. You can do this with any image, but you see I am uploading image for more detail, period. Before we get into details, could you help me? So I always start high level, broad, ask for categories of experts. So it's going to give me a bunch of experts. Love the categories. And by the way, the better you do here, the better your results will be. And I agree with a lot of these. Okay. And by the way, I'm not reading a lot of these. I don't care so much because I'm just narrowing. Um, okay. Can we expand food with this of So now I'm asking it to expand on the list of experts. And you'll see it's getting really, really detailed. So it's adding three. And of course, it should have Tim Ferriss because I specifically did mention him. He's inspired me in many, many ways. Now, thank you for that. Based on our categories of experts, bid experts, what best practices? Brave, efficient, eliminate, I would say, Pareto pays experience. By the way, if somebody has a principal named after them, I'm almost always going to include them. So if I'm talking about Occam's razor, I'm going to include Occam. If I'm talking about Einstein's theory of relativity, I want to know what Einstein thinks about his theory of relativity. We're talking about eliminate. I go to the original godfather of the Pareto principle, Vilfredo Pareto. He's an old Italian philosopher. Look him up. He is my go-to when I'm looking at things I should eliminate. Tim Ferriss is a modern version, but this is where it starts to get really cool. So you can see I've got categories of experts, individual experts. Now I've got best practices. And by the way, if you're looking to learn something, you're looking to research something, this is a really good formula. So we start with an objective. Here's what I want to accomplish. You saw me say I'd like to share, eliminate, automate, delegate with my audience. Then you ask for categories of experts. Then you ask for the individual experts. Then you ask for best practices. And we got a system error, so you just have to hit regenerate. Categories of experts. That's correctly being the process would ask for inputs down to go input go elements. By the way, words matter. You'll learn what matters, what doesn't. For help, target, eliminate, me, me, finally, delegate. email list. We will then work. Area demise. By the way, when I record these things, I have a plan up front and then I see where AI takes me. And of course, that plan changes. So I appreciate you watching me. I want you to understand I'm going to talk to myself, I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to show you how this looks. And if you hear me mumbling and muttering, I'm thinking out loud, but this is what you should be doing is it's a conversation. Pretend ChatGPT is a really good friend of yours or it's a coworker who knows everything. And rather than necessarily talking to them, if you want to talk to them, you can just click on this and talk to them. I rarely use voice mode because I type almost as fast as I speak. Um, Sometimes I find voice mode, it gets interrupted, whereas this way I can organize my thoughts, I can edit. So personally, I prefer to type. You might prefer to speak, but treat this as a conversation with a knowledgeable coworker who might be absent-minded. So you're the grown up, you're going to ask them questions, they're going to tell you what they think. You're going to go, really? I don't know if that piece makes sense. It assures me, I've had a conversation where it assures me that Tony Robbins co-authored a certain book. I know for a fact Tony Robbins did not co-author said book. So even when you say, are you sure? It'll say, yes, I'm sure. And you say, I happen to know for a fact he didn't. And then it'll update and say, oh, you're right. So just know that sometimes it does weird things. But if you look at it, here it's given me how to input the tasks, how to evaluate, and how to evaluate, and how to finalize it, and then how to develop the SOPs. And as you can see, it's given me an example, it's given me steps. This is magical because it helps do so many wonderful things. Now, I could also ask it to optimize my research process. But for yours, I'll just recap it one more time. Here's my objective. Here's what I want to accomplish. That's one. Number two, here are the categories of experts that are going to help me with my objective. Number three, here are the individual world-class experts. World-class is important because I don't want the average Joe on the street. I want the expert. Number four, we're asking for best practices. And then number five, we're asking for a process. And that is how I pretty much accomplish anything in a day. I ask GPT to help me. And whenever you're stuck, say, Chat GPT, I want to accomplish this one thing. I'm stuck here. What could I ask you to get better results? But I promise you, if you just start using the objective expert categories, experts, best practices process, you will get great results every time. And you just might have to tweak it once in a while. So that's the end of module 2. And we will come back in module 3. And I'm going to give you some examples for creating content. And again, I'll show you, the owner, the entrepreneur, how to create the content, and then I'm going to show you how to eliminate, automate, or delegate. So eliminate, automate, delegate, that must be your new mantra because it will come up over and over. Thank you.